Today, we have some groundbreaking updates about the upcoming iPhone 16 that you won't want to miss. According to a fresh report from Economic Daily via Apple Insider, Apple is planning to make a major change to all the buttons on the iPhone 16 series. Yes, you heard that right, all the buttons. So let's dive right in and see what this means for the next generation of iPhones. The report says that all of the mechanical buttons on the iPhone 16 series will be replaced by capacitive buttons. This includes the power button, volume button, the action button, and even a new capture button. Now, this might sound like a small tweak, but it's a pretty significant shift in how we'll interact with our iPhones. Instead of the traditional mechanical buttons that we're used to, where you press and feel the physical movement, capacitive buttons work with the touch of your finger. They don't move, but you get some haptic feedback to let you know your touch has been registered. Apple is planning to use two Taptic engine motors to create a vibration whenever you press any of these new capacitive buttons. This change was initially planned for the iPhone 15 series, but due to some technical issues, it got postponed. Now it looks like Apple is all set to introduce these buttons with the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 16 Pro, and iPhone 16 Pro Max. Internally, this project is known as Project Bongo. So why is Apple making this change? One of the main advantages of solid-state capacitive buttons is durability. Mechanical buttons can wear down and break after repeated use, especially if you plan to keep your phone for several years. With high-end flagship phones costing a small fortune these days, it's crucial that every component lasts as long as possible. Capacitive buttons, on the other hand, don't have any moving parts, which means they're less likely to wear out. This could significantly enhance the longevity of your device. Plus, with haptic feedback provided by the Taptic engine motors, you'll still get that satisfying click-like sensation when you press a button. Apple has placed a huge order with their supplier, Advanced Semiconductor Engineering, for these capacitive buttons. Another supplier, SMIC, China's top foundry, is set to deliver two SIPs, system in package, for the capacitive components. These components are expected to be mass-produced during the third quarter, which is cutting it close if Apple plans to include them in the iPhone 16 series launching this September. But wait, there's more. Along with the traditional power and volume buttons, we'll also see an action button and a new capture button. The action button, which we've seen on recent models, allows for customizable functions, adding a layer of personalization. The capture button is designed for photography and videography enthusiasts. It will act as a shutter button for photos and a record button for videos. Swiping the button will reportedly adjust the zoom level, and a half press will focus the scene or subject being photographed. This could be a game changer for mobile photography. The transition to capacitive buttons is a bold move by Apple, and it signals their commitment to innovation and improving user experience. While the change might take a little getting used to, the benefits in terms of durability and functionality could be well worth it. As we get closer to the release date, we'll likely hear more details and see some leaks about how these buttons perform in real-world use. But from what we know so far, it's looking like the iPhone 16 series will bring some exciting new features to the table. What do you think about Apple's move to capacitive buttons? Are you excited about the potential for more durable and functional buttons, or do you prefer the traditional mechanical buttons? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then. In just a few months' time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, we don't clearly expect any other major changes. We're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.